And with you and with all your help, of course, I passed my PMP. I am so excited. It's been a long journey for me. 3 years, actually. 3 years I've been on this road. Went through a horrible boot camp with work, and I studied, crammed, studied. I find myself studying 5 hours a day, 6 hours on the weekends, saying no to commitments and turning down social events, all to just fail an exam. So since I was so bummed with all that studying and failing, I just only took it one time and I just stopped because they give you 3 times to take the exam.
How long ago was that?
This was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So 2017, I was just over it. I was done. I was frustrated and I did not go back. I did not pick up a PMP, anything. So then, long story short, fast forward to where we are now. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So I said, you know what, since I have the time, I'm working from home. I have nothing else really going on. I can't make that excuse with I'm too busy. So I wanted to get back into it. However, I didn't want to memorize a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know if you can see it right now. I use my, PMBOK and that reader book for book stands for my monitor here. That's what I use those for. So I know I did not want to open up those thick books because it's so intimidating. Her process teaches you to memorize different things in order, and you got to do this. And like, I know with my brain capacity, the way my adult ADD is set up, that was not going to happen. So with your approach, I ended up Googling online. I did sign up for a boot camp just last minute just to get me in the door. But then I kept Googling something. I just couldn't sit right with that. And so I kept Googling, and then you came up. And then so I went on YouTube. I watched your YouTube videos for the PMP Success Master Prep. And then I went on your website. And so you had like a free test out there. And it was like 20 questions or something, or maybe 10, I'm not sure. But I took it. It was challenging, but I did pretty good. I was doing a little reading on my own prior to, keep Googling you and finding you. And so I'm like, but your questions were really, they weren't like overwhelming, but they weren't like super easy breezy either. So I'm just like, okay, it gave me a really good baseline to say like, okay, I'm ready to start back studying again. So I reached out to you. I still have your voicemail, May 1st, 2020. You called me back. You left me a voicemail because I had messaged you. And like your energy, your excitement, like, hey, I think I gave you a brief backstory, high level on the voicemail. And you were like, hey, I'm here to help. Just give me a call back, whatever. And I'm just like, wow, this is a guy on YouTube that I saw on the website. So you were like a little celebrity, but you were so down to earth, and like, so when we talked, I knew it was meant for us, or meant for me to work with you. You were that one that kind of like, integration, you brought it all together, as opposed to, okay, you do this one thing and then leave somebody hanging. Like you were there hand in hand. We were going to the finish line together. So I really appreciate that with your program. It was a mentorship. It was a guidance. And you knew when, I was ready. I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel like you just wanted me to hurry up and get in there. It was just, hey, you're doing great. You're doing this, this, that, and the other. Go ahead and test because you're ready. So I really needed that. So I can't thank you enough. Your program is just phenomenal. I wish you were around 3 years ago. I could not have done it without you. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I really appreciate it. And like, you got to give yourself a ton of credit because you put in a ton of work. I mean, we were up early. We started way early. We did. And we just did an hour and a half or so, or an hour and a half a day and cranked it out. And the part that like, I think that was really, really helpful for like the whole process and the way we went through it. You were open to anything. You were open to kind of not following the traditional path, and you were open to just kind of talking through and logicking through the PMBOK and the concepts. So that helped a ton. Now,
it did.
How did you feel kind of like, what was keeping you, like 3 years is a long time. Like to fail and not do it in 3 years. I know that you can like make and rationalize all these decisions. What was going through your head during those 3 years? Was it like nagging on you or like what kept you?
Yeah, it was about all of the above, actually. It was, I work in project management and being transparent. A lot of people, that don't have the credential are like great project managers and some, and not all, just some, and then some who have it, weren't the best project managers. And so I'm like, okay, if this person has their PMP, I know I can get my PMP, so it became almost like, okay, let me just go ahead. I'm really competitive as a person personally, but not in a bad way, like healthy, being competitive is a good balance just to push yourself. And so, I'm like, okay, if so-and-so has his or her PMP, I feel like I can go back and jump back into this game again, but I needed help. Like I needed a mentor. I didn't need a boot camp. I didn't need a class feeling like I'm just another number. I didn't want to be just a statistic. Okay, we have 20 students and 10 people pass. Like I didn't want to be a statistic. I wanted to be someone who actually cared about my well-being, to make sure I'm getting the material, not just you're ready, but you made sure I had a comprehensive understanding of the learning before you even told me I was ready, So I really appreciate that guidance, because sometimes it's just like projects. Projects can't run without people. So with your particular platform that you have, we can't study without people. You need like a village. You need that community. And this like family don't know. Like if you're going through this trying to study, your family can't understand unless you're in this trying to study. No one can understand the pain, the sweat, the tears, all the emotions that come with this. But you were that person that, man, like Scott, like, am I ready? And it was a whole confidence thing with me too. Like I didn't have the confidence. I had got kicked in the gut when it said I failed 3 years ago, but you helped me with that confidence. You helped me to realize like, you got it. Like, I don't feel like an expert, but I do feel like I couldn't do it without you. I'm like being honest, like, don't make me start crying, because like I could not do it without you. Like I needed that extra TLC. I needed that push. I needed that, come on, you can do that. Even your whole energy, you're just like, you got this. You're so motivating, and then you make it fun. That's another thing. Being adults, like no one wants to sit there and read a PMBOK for 5 hours. Like, but your videos are encouraging. I enjoyed your videos. And your steps of that test, that 58 questions decoded. Like I did that with you before I took the exam online.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I forgot to tell you the other day. That was when I knew I was ready. Because you told me I was ready, but I still had a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of doubt. And so it wasn't until I found your 58 PMP questions decoded. I did that like Friday. And I walked with you, you walked with us, doing it. You hit the pause button, and I would answer the question, and I would get the answers right. And then you would explain why I got them right. And then when I got it wrong, you would explain, hey, this is what you may have missed. So that really helped me. And that's when I knew I was ready. So that after I did that night, that's when I scheduled my exam. It wasn't before I did that. So it was totally with you. So thank you.
I think you hit on a really, really good thing. Like, the feedback. So we've been talking about this 7-day thing that we've been leading people through, and it's changing the way we my company, we approach PMP teaching and stuff. This is going to be our model going forth. So like, and I think the big thing is what you just hit on, like the feedback, like distilling everything down, and then really understanding if you're getting it, if you're picking it up. And then what I really loved about working with you was you were putting it in your own words, in your own examples, and all that stuff. So it was kind of like, you were refining your knowledge in your words, not mine. I was just kind of like helping you get there, and then you were doing it. So I think the feedback is huge, like a huge thing. So
I totally agree. Totally. And it's not reinforced feedback. It's not I need you to take this exam Friday. It wasn't that. It was honest, it was transparent, and when I got it, I had it, it was me. I was prolonging the process. I probably could have tested within the exact 7 days, but I took it one more week just to make sure, I was okay. And I wouldn't recommend that. So whoever's listening, if he tells you you're ready, you're ready.
There you go. So let's go a little deeper into the content. Like, were there areas that you found, or when you walked in, you said like, I don't have a good understanding of this, or that were confusing, and then we had to work for me. Like, what are those areas that were sticky for you?
EVM.
Oh, really?
I hate math. So like math, like, the old exam before pre-pandemic, that was a lot of questions, a lot of, focus on that. But with you, it was just like high level, but still a good understanding to the point where it wasn't overwhelming, because I don't like math outside of the basic math. But learning like your system, how you broke down that chart. I watched the control cost video. Like that video was so just a wealth of knowledge. It just made me look at it totally different. And it wasn't just memorizing an equation. It was the process, because I never even knew, the planned value of what should be done, the work that should be done. Like that was like something new for me because like all the other books and boot camps, like they make it so complicated and it's really not that complicated.
No, it's easy. I wrote a book called EVM Made Easy, and like it's actually out now. But like, awesome. It's a lot. I think with the EVM stuff, and I'm glad you brought up, is that it's all they're doing is answering questions that you ask. How's the project doing? Well, we need a way to mathematically kind of prove that. Like, you can't just say everything's going okay, boss. Like, you have to like have a way to put it into words, and that's what and to do that, you have to have things to compare against each other. So, like, you gotta have the baseline, you gotta have the plan value, the earned value, the actual cost, and the interaction between all those is just how you get the realizations. And it was fun kind of like working through it and seeing the lights come on in your head about those. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal, like, usually I cringe when it's time. When I took the boot camps, I would cringe, like, okay, the cost and the schedule. I just like, here we go, man, but I can't get it. But you made it so, like, in just everyday language terms, like you just explained. Just made it so easy to comprehend, because that is a lot of people's, weakness is the math, because we are adults and we have software that does that.
Yeah, it does everything for you.
So there's no need to do that. But then, and then here we are, have to learn it manually. It's just kind of like, here we go again. But yeah, your process is totally, I've never heard it explained like that or taught like that ever.
Right. Yeah, I made it up. And so, I mean,
it worked.
Didn't learn it from anybody. I made it up. Now, the stuff, like that's one of the things that's enriching for me personally, and I think it's super great because I see it pay dividends for you guys. So did you develop any not relationship, we weren't in that much, but how did you kind of embrace or go into the group coaching calls that we did and bringing other people involved? Like, how did that help you, or what was your opinion of that kind of stuff?
Honestly, I wish, like I said, hurrying up and just going with the rush to sign up for that boot camp prior to I came to you. If I would have took my time and just instead of like, let me hurry up and do this so I can get back to the PMP space, if I would have found you first, I would have had more time on those Wednesday night coaching calls because I only did the one. I only did the one when Gary came on and he shared his testimony and I really related to him. So that was a student that I was just like, okay, I am Gary. Gary is me.
Gary is like super relatable. And I mean, everybody's got that story where they're like, I mean, that's so much of my life is just like learning the stories of like what, the 3-year kind of thing that you went through, and like, Gary's kind of thing where he didn't think that he could do it. Like, damn, dude, like didn't think he could do it. Like, it's ridiculous because they're so smart. So it's weird.
I know. Yeah. So like, it makes you feel inadequate. Like I said, I failed one time and never went back. I said, I ain't doing this crap. Like, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. And then to tell me that I still failed, like it made me feel just totally inadequate. So taking a break kind of worked for me. I wouldn't recommend it, but it did work for me. And so with that community, with the coaching calls, like with the group that I did go on that night with Gary on the call, when we did do the questions, it was so fun. It was like a game, like I said, I'm competitive. So it made me think, okay, like, oh, this is a good student. Oh, everyone knows their stuff. Like, let me stop my game up and go study some more so I can be like them, So it just helps to have that whole community. As I said, it takes a community and a village to go through this. Like your friends and family can't understand unless they're taking this exam too.
Yeah, that is dead on. So let's talk a little bit about the actual experience of the live online exam. Like what I see you're in your room, you couldn't have those books underneath your computer. My assumption was. So
absolutely not.
Yeah. You had to talk me through kind of like step by step what people can expect.
So 2 days before or 3 days before you take your exam, Pearson VUE, they send you a link to your email. It says that they strongly recommend you testing your system. So that's your software. And prior to that, you have to send pictures with your cell phone. So in that day, they ask you to take pictures front, back, side of your room. They ask to see your desk. So you had to clear so these books were on like in the other room. I moved everything in the hallway. You can't even have another monitor. You can only use one laptop.
Oh, really?
On your computer. Yep, only one laptop, no monitors whatsoever. So everything.
You can only use a laptop?
One laptop. That's it.
Wow.
No monitor.
I got two screens. I got a problem. I can't take.
You definitely had to take one of those out for sure. So So that was the day of. So they see your room. Nothing, I didn't have any posters or anything, but I didn't have any PMP stuff all over. So all that was okay. The day of, you had to go through the same process, except with your phone. You have to have your phone in another room or, you know, somewhere away. But you had to do those same pictures with your laptop webcam. So it's not pictures. I guess I shouldn't say pictures. It's like recording, because someone is there looking while you're scooting your laptop around and scanning it, making sure nothing's on your desk. I mean, you can't even have a pen or a piece of paper on your desk. I had my driver's license to check in. She told me to remove my driver's license off the desk. I mean, it's really, you're on house arrest taking this exam, literally. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, so it was a really good it was easy. I didn't have any technical issues. They did the system process. After I scanned the room, they asked a few more questions, and then they said ready to begin. So it was. I actually like this process much better. And then you're in your own home. So I mean, it gets better. It can't get any better than that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That's cool. And so I know we went through quickly, 7 days, whatever. You did a bunch of questions. We did them live, like you and I a lot. What was the experience like? Did you freeze up at the beginning? Did you get nervous? Did you just stay confident the entire time? Talk me through kind of like what was going through your brain.
Yep, it was mixed emotions. Coming in 3 years later, I felt a little dusty. However, before I came to you, you know, so I wanted to make sure I found something online or something I had, like a link to kind of help you play a game, to putting the processes together. The process groups, I did that a few times. I looked up some ITOs just to kind of get myself familiar with terminology for the processes, all the processes, so I can have some sort of baseline. And then I work in project management, but of course it's not PMI project management. So I'm familiar with some terminology and, you know, those things. So I came in with a brief understanding. Like I said, no expert, but I came in with a certain level of understanding. And I was nervous. I wasn't as intimidated 3 years ago, because I mean, I would open up the books 3 years ago and just start hyperventilating, like, I got all these pages, I gotta know all this stuff, I gotta know all this stuff. But with your approach, when you sent me that link to those videos, and we had to mention that too. So before I worked with you that Monday, you told me to watch the John's case study.
Oh yeah,
And so I watched those cases, and they were fun. It was like animation, and like it was like watching a movie. So, and they were short, you know. So like I said, adults' attention spans are a little shorter now. And so like if I can feel like I'm watching TV and not studying, like it helps with that. And so I watched the John stories. I actually like Lloyd. Lloyd is so cute. He's like my favorite. You
like
character.
Lloyd? I've become. What do you like about Lloyd? Like how he looks and stuff? Or?
No, he's just so like, yeah, you got this, John. You can do it.
I've become an anti. Like I like Lloyd, but I'm like, Lloyd, get involved, dude. Lloyd, like who wrote this thing? Like get John going, because he's like, I like his laissez-faire. He's not laissez-faire. He's more of like I guess technically he's more of a servant leader, but I don't think he's putting John in the. I don't think he's. I know I wrote it, but now I don't even remember writing it, and I'm like, I would have been, if I would have wrote this the second time, I would have been more. John, he would have been more engaged, because But I mean, I don't know.
But you know what? Okay. You made it really realistic, because there's a lot of Lloyds out there. I work with Lloyd,
and I don't think Lloyd's all bad. Lloyd's like I meant to, like when I originally wrote it, I do remember that, like I was like, I'm gonna make Lloyd like the savior in a sense of like, or his like Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever, who's ever the guy that guiding people. So that was the concept, but he was he didn't get out. I don't think he left his office a lot. I wish Lloyd would have left his office more.
True, I agree with that.
And if anybody's listening to them, like, what the hell are you talking about? It's just 25 pages of like a case story, so you can read it. It's fun.
Yeah. But I like the videos. They were cute, and so I did that, and that helped too. That kind of helped. So if someone comes in and they don't have a baseline, it makes it a fun learning tool to learn, like, oh, okay, so this is what project management is about, or this is what we're looking for, what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So I really like those case studies, and so I did that. And so when I came in, I wasn't as nervous, because then I looked on your website and I looked at other videos. So I'm like, okay, so I like this. I like this whole interaction. I noticed the chat box that pops up, and so someone asks a question. I didn't talk to anybody then because I'm like, I don't know what to say, what I can contribute. But it was really fun and engaging, and like you said, someone's always there 24/7. Like you have people all over the world.
That's the crazy part. Like I'll get up at 2:30, and it's like someone's there, like hey, and we just talk. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun just to have that. Like I said, you need that community, you need that village to help you get through this. You need people. You can't do projects without people. Same with studying. True. You cannot study without people.
That is very true. So actual exam, like a couple days ago or whatever. What was
2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago. What was the get into like the question solving? Like what was your strategy? How did you crack it? Did you divert from your strategy? Like what happened?
Yep. So the day before, I didn't take any questions. I did that 58 question video with you side by side that Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I didn't take any questions, and I took my exam this Tuesday, May 26, 2020. I didn't take any questions, and that was the thing. I went in last time wrong. Last time I told you I overdid it. I was doing too much, and it still didn't. I still failed 3 years ago. Yeah. So, but I was taking all those questions. When you look online, people are like, take practice questions, take practice questions.
Yeah.
But come on now, time out. Like, seriously, is that really realistic? Is that a good approach when you're just overwhelmed, taking thousands of questions, So I didn't do that because I did that prior to doing this.
So let me pause you. That's a common question that people come to me. They go, hey, how many questions should I take? Like, can I take 1,400 straight? Blah, blah, blah. What is your, how would you respond to that kind of sentiment or that kind of thinking? What would you respond to them? How would you do it?
A, you're crazy. B, get your life together. Let's be realistic here. So 200 questions is the exam. So why would you practice 1,400 questions? Yeah. So my approach was, I love how your system is outlined. So you have process groups and you have knowledge areas. So I did it by process groups. So like I said, this is my second time around here to take the exam. So I studied off of knowledge areas before. So I said I was doing totally different approach this time with you. So I focused on process groups because that's how the exam breakdown is by process groups. So I did your videos. I would take a day, one day, Monday initiating. I would go through that. And then you had like 20 questions. So I would go through those 20 questions, go through why I got them right and why I got them wrong. Beautiful. So that alone could take like an hour if you really dissect those questions. Then the next day, planning. I did watch all your planning videos. Did the questions that you have. So I broke it down by that because I need structure. And I noticed last time around 3 years ago when I did this, I was all over the place. Knowledge area, focus group, and I'm like, no, this time around I need focus, structure. So I did it your way, and I did it by process groups, and I did small questions at a time. So 20 questions, and that would help me find out where I am, and then I would go through those questions. So that'd be like another hour, 50 minutes, 40 minutes off of just homework, just going through that. So that was my approach, and that helped me learn more than taking 1,500 questions.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful because what you said about if you break down 5, 10 questions, it could take an hour. Yeah. To break a question down, and you talked about why you got it right and why you got it wrong. I think some people are just looking for that green light to say, oh, I got it right. There's nothing more to learn there. And if they got it wrong, I'll get it right next time. I don't think when you're taking questions, it sounds weird. I don't think the actual purpose is to get the right answer.
Exactly.
In a sense, I think it's to understand why you got the right answer, why you got the wrong answer, and able to see the layers in the question. This stuff is not necessary. This stuff is what's really important. Here's where they're trying to mislead me or lead me. Here's where, here's where you are. If you can talk through and to talk through that takes minutes, not that you have minutes during the exam, but once you do that a couple, 10, 15, 20 times, you start to develop those muscles, and then you don't have to go that deep the next time. It just gets easier and easier and easier. And, I think don't go 1,400 deep, go deep on a couple, and keep going. Yeah. I think that's way better.
And that was my approach too in the exam. You mentioned that. So you have this video, and throughout the videos, you have you're saying, imagine that you jump out of a helicopter or parachute and you land, where am I?
Yeah.
And so that visual really helped me. So some of the PMP questions, the actual exam, some would say, hey, the team isn't executing. Some would state it. Some you would have no idea where you are, and you had to figure out where am I. So that's why I really recommend the process groups, because that way you know, okay, you're not gonna know exactly where you are in scope, but you know you can be in planning the scope, you know? So like that helped me at a high level. So I really like that analogy when you said, imagine where you are when you land, boom, am I initiating, boom, am I in planning? So that approach really helped me. And that's what I did during the exam. If it wasn't stated, I read the last question first as you recommend, and then I went back to where am I? Yeah. So that helped me. Timing was never my thing. I think even with me and you, I think I did okay one-on-one on the time. Yeah. So timing wasn't my thing, and I actually ended my real exam 35 minutes early.
Which is crazy.
So well, I don't know about that, but I just knocked it out because they weren't really long. Like your questions on your simulator, I like because like your questions were really hard, much harder to me, more challenging than the real exam. You know, like the real exam is kind of just straightforward. Boom, what does the project manager? There's an issue. Boom, what does the PM do? Your questions like take you kind of around, but that's what you have to do though for the real exam, because you don't know where you're going to be. So even in that, you're like, okay, where am I? You got to put your thinking cap on. Like, what should I do next? Right. So your approach is really like, your questions are really good. They're really good. They're challenging. But during the real exam, I just, hey, where am I? Looked at time, just made sure I stayed to your, 63 seconds. How long did you say it was?
It's like a minute, 72 seconds, whatever. A minute 12, but I mean, just basically a minute, because we don't want to have to do complicated math.
Exactly. So I wanted to make sure I stayed within my timing was good, made sure I understood where I was in the process, and went to the 50-50s, because when me and you did our one-on-one, we would do 50-50. Boom, time you see it, look at the answers first, narrow it down immediately to 50-50. Chances of which one it's going to be and which one is the best answer. What is the question actually asking you in this question? Right. So with that, I will look at a question, boom, immediately 50-50 right away. I think that's what helped me on time too, because I was really good with that strategy with the 50-50.
Yeah, I think that's really great. So, I mean, that is awesome that you went through and did it that way. And like that, the 50-50 thing where you're like just throwing away some and getting some other ones, that's like a super important way to look at it. I think that's super effective. Now, when you think back to your normal job, you're a project manager, you've been doing it for a while, you've been successful. Is this going to help you, or how is this going to help you? What kind of benefit do you think you're going to get from this?
For sure. Like I just watched a video today. Like I passed my exam 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Yeah. And I actually had to go back on one of your videos and I looked to see, because I'm in the process of developing a business case. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me go through this business case process again, because I never actually came up. I've done charters, but not business cases before. Okay. So I'm like, let me watch Scott's video to see how I can narrow down this business case. So, and it helps. So I definitely want to implement that. This isn't a one-stop. I passed my PMP to keep going, because I don't want to be that person. Because remember when I said there's some people who have their credential, but they're not really good project managers. I don't want to be that person. I want to have my credential and I want to be a great project manager. So with your material, I feel like it will keep me moving forward.
That's good. And the good thing is you know, we don't cut you off. So you're good for however long you want to look at it. We're continuing. I can't stop making stuff. So it's good. So we're continuing to drop more and more content in. So that's awesome. Now, so the cool thing, like you gave me a text or a call early and you said you wanted to mentor people. So that's, I'm super pumped about that. And we'll get that going. Like the people that go through the 7-day thing and others, be able to kind of talk to you and Melissa and some of the other people that have gone through the program. I think it'll be really, really helpful. So that's
for sure. And like I said, we need that. We need people. We need, you know, you have your family, you know, children, like you can't always be accessible, but I'm not trying to teach. Definitely can't take your shoes. That's for sure. Can't feel those big shoes over there, but I can help someone say, hey, you got it. You know, sometimes it's just a confidence level. Yeah. You helped me with mine. So if I can help somebody else with their confidence, I'm already done the job, right? So it plays on your emotions, your mentee, your psyche, like everything. It's just like, come on, like we're at the end of the day, we're bigger than a PMP. At the end of the day, we're still a regular person that have, you know, that may be employed. So that's a blessing, right? But we just want to be better. Let's get better at our skill, and this piece of paper can help us get even more better. So that's why I just want to help people, because I needed this 3 years ago. I needed a Scott Payne in my life 3 years ago. But now I have you, and now I want to kind of just pass the baton on. Like, let's help other people win.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I am very blessed that you gave me a text or call or whatever it was to get going. So
yes,
it was good. I'm super, super proud of you as always. And I'm excited that you're going to be mentoring other people and helping them out. And I think you're short selling yourself a little bit. I mean, obviously give them the good news and the congratulations and the confidence, but you have gone through, you know a lot, and I think you will be able to help a ton too. So that's cool. All right. Well, I really, really appreciate you jumping on here. This is not the last time that we'll talk, obviously.
Oh no, for sure, I'm ready. Let's go get it. Let's go help these people win and pass this PMP.
I know. You keep stacking them up. So we got Damon in right now. So
Damon.
Talk to Rachel into moving her time up. And so I did the same thing.
She's ready.
Next week.
Good.
There's plenty of people out there that are closer than they think they are. They just got to get the right kind of like little tweak and then some support, and they'll be there.
And you help with the tweak, and I got the support.
There you go. It's a good team.
It's a win-win. Right.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, have a great weekend.
Thanks, Scott.
I'm excited to keep things going, and you did so amazing. So congratulations.
Awesome. No, thank you. It goes to you too. So I appreciate the time and effort you spent. Those early mornings, we both were in it together. So thank you.
That's very true. All right. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye. Right. How good was that interview, man? Like, Maya did amazing. I am so proud of how she did and the way she stuck to it. And the thing that like really resonated with me, I don't know about with you guys, was the way in which failing made her feel 3 years ago or whenever she took it. Like the first time before we got hooked up, like how it like hurt her personally, how it struck her and, kind of shook her confidence in herself and her, her brain, and could she actually do this and all those things. And like, I didn't know that in depth about how it really made her feel. But I think a lot of you guys out there, if you failed before, if you're struggling, if you've just kind of like don't have the confidence to take the exam, you're going to share a lot of you're currently sharing a lot of the same feelings that Maya had. All right. And so that's, it's crazy. And that's the awesome part about how we can help you out, is that we want to attack those feelings and just crush them, eliminate them, get rid of them. And we can do it in 7 days. Like I couldn't even get 7 figures up there. Like this thing that we got going on now, it is proven, tested, and like was developed like from the fire out to help students succeed. So if you stuck into this video this long, I'm here to help you. Okay. So what we want to do is, like, it's not even on our website yet. We've been helping so many students and like hadn't even spent the time to put it on the website. We're trying to figure out what it is, but we are taking applications for the accelerator program. So if you want to be involved in the accelerator program, you have to email me. Go ahead and email me personally, scott@pmmasterprep.com. I'm going to get it. It's going to show me that you're on board, that you're ready to roll, and we'll talk to you about it, because here's the way that we do this right now. We have systemized everything and given you, we've gone deep in support. So a daily video every day there, I'm talking directly to you like this to teach you the same exact things that I taught Melissa and Maya and Lisa and Rachel and all these people that got through, okay? And all that are getting through this week, all right? And so that's what you're going to get, one per day, and then you get a post-day like action plan. Do these specific activities, exactly what you need to do. Everyday builds. We start every Monday for a reason, because on Wednesday, I put you in a call with me. We go Wednesday night live with a group of accelerator students, and we go through hard questions, and I help you cut them up. I want to see you solve questions so that I can understand how you're thinking about questions, how confident you are, how you think under pressure, and then we're going to help you learn, help you tweak, and help you get better. And you're going to sit down in a sense, and then the other person's going to jump on the Zoom spotlight, and we're going to go through it over and over. I do it it's scheduled for an hour. I usually go for 2. All right. So that's really going to help you. And then you're going to go back to the videos next day, boom, 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 hit them. And you also meet with your accountability coach, your accelerator accountability coach. Now, these people like Maya, these people like Melissa, these other people who have been through it, those are the coaches. They know what you're feeling. They know what it's like. They've gone through the program and they've been successful. So who better to help you teach? So when I think you're ready and when they think you're ready, we give you the thumbs up and you hit the exam. Now, you're going to get the confidence that we have invested 100% in you, and then we can tell you you're ready to go. All right. So right now, if you want to get in this accelerator program, we are limiting the number that we have because we want to put 100% of our effort on you. Sound good? All you got to do is email me, scott@pmmasterprep.com. Let's get you through this PMP. You can.